I'm a Dim Wolf, and this is the next video. I had to move that timer because it's really in the way.
A bust of Pierre Cauchon, humble servant of La France.
Okay, maybe it's only cutscenes for outside. Well, subtitles outside of cutscenes.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
Anything else in here? Nope.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. Pierre Cauchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
Probably to keep you out of his room.
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
There's supposed to be a balcony there because she's kind of floating. As these here would be the perfect place to be small hidden cameras in the eyeballs and just keep scanning the room. Don't want to go there yet. Scan the body.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime.
No,
I'd come across this murderer before and written about him. The costume killer. At least that's what I'd called him.
What gave it away? Was it the, oh, there's a thing.
It was one of my hair clips. My favourite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
Knocked down?
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
Pun? Like, knocked down? You look like he freaking gave you a haymaker to the face.
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I'd tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Cauchon had been shot.
What gave it away?
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it.
Yeah,
I closed his eyes. It was the...
Yeah, shut up. Anything else I need in this body of his? No? Good. Alright. Let's go into the room.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them. A medieval pageant. Original, no doubt. The tapestry must have cost a fortune. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful. Even my fingernail would...
Yes. Hold on it and release.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Plus, also, like every point-and-click adventure game, every hero is a hero or heroine is a kleptomaniac.
A magnificent antique table.
Great. Look at this first.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the colour I was after for my bathroom. I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is... Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour. For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Alright. In a couple of minutes, let's talk to her.
Excuse me, madame. Yes? Why would a mime want to kill your husband? Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. How did your husband know my father? I have no idea. You didn't know him? Thierry Collard? Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women. I am so sorry for your loss, madame. No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry. Not true. We shall see. Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss? I have no idea. His business was his business. He never told you anything? No, and frankly I preferred it that way. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines. Just because I am a journalist. Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Okay. I've always chosen this option.
I certainly don't let it get in the way of a good story. I admire your loyalty to your profession. The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends? No. I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in. I know one thing, madame. What? If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police. Why? How do I know I can trust you? Because you have no choice. The police will take weeks, in which time your own life may be in danger. What? Believe me, this killer has struck before, and he will strike again. Who is to know that you are not next on his list? I don't know. All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come. I think perhaps you do have a moral sense, of sorts. You're not a very good liar, Nico Collard, and I share your low opinion of the police. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find. Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Oh, feels so good. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Here. I'm not reading that shit. It's too small and it's weird.
The door.
Yep, the door was locked, so you had to do this.
Now we were getting somewhere.
Yay. Can we go in now? Thank you. Oh, my stomach.
I didn't need the lights on. It was light enough already. The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe.
This is it? Yeah, it is.
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Cachon was past caring.
And that's the time. See you next time.